Guys, the day has finally arrived. Not the day, when I say the day has finally arrived, I do not mean the day that that we're bringing back Magic Wars. I meant the day that I got a light for my webcam so that you can actually see me and it doesn't look like I'm sitting in the basement, despite the fact that I am sitting in the basement. Hey. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so anyway, today we are doing Magic Wars. We're coming back to Magic Wars after this is a good song. We're coming back to Magic Wars after like however long of being away. When I was going through, I think last stream was the one that we did that was like last week was the one that we did that was, I don't remember if it was last week. It was whenever. The one that we did that was like all of the videos, all of the stuff that I have soda on my screen. All of the streams that I've done in all of the streams that I've done in the past, and we ranked them and stuff. And so today we're taking a bit away from the games and the silly and stuff, and we're gonna work on Magic Wars because it has been over 3 years, I think, since that video came out. The original Magic Wars video. I'm creating a Minecraft server inspired by Hypixel. Was October 28th, 2022. So yeah, it's been over 3 years since that video came out, and nothing has come of it. And there's been no updates on the server or any updates like that. No one's been able to play it since then. And so I'm going to, before I say hi to everyone, I'm going to give like a brief, whatever I can, a brief update on what I'm planning to do with this game in the next coming weeks, months, I don't know. So maybe this is not a good thing to do when nobody's here yet, but yeah, Hi Potato God, ModMonster late, ModMonster a little bit late, ModMonster a little bit late. I never lost hope. Thanks, Nolan. Am I your favorite? I don't pick favorites. It's like saying who's your favorite child. I don't have favorites. When will Mod get internet back at house? Literally no idea. Literally no idea. But I don't currently I don't know if I said this on my last stream. I have, our library does a thing where you can rent out, not rent, you borrow them. It's a library for free. You get internet hotspots, and so they're like mobile data hotspots, and they have unlimited internet, and you get it for 2-3 weeks, whatever. I don't really know how long. And it's like the speeds are incredibly slow. There is no way I'd be able to stream off of one. I did a speed test, and it's like 2 megabits up and or 2 megabits down and half a megabit up. It's disgusting. But I have internet at home a little bit, so I can like search stuff. Anyway, update on my life. I can code on Python now. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. Why did ModMonster get no Wi-Fi? Did you forget to pay the bill? No clue, man. It stopped working one day. And no one's ever looked into it. So, well, no one's ever, I guess, looked into getting new. Why? I have no idea. No idea. ModMonster search stuff too sus? That's not why. Get out of here. ModMonster has never searched a sus. I've never searched a sus thing in my life. Come on. I only search the least sus things. I search birds playing with frogs. That's all I search. Yeah. Ew, why did they bring Gemini to Chrome? Get out of here. Disgusting. AI, unpin. Wait, you can actually do that. I just got rid of AI. What is this? Search tabs, unpin. Screw you. Dude, you can like... Alright, well, that's cool. Anyway, so, yeah, State of Magic Wars. State of Magic Wars, that's what we're here for. So, it's been in limbo for this long, and I was... The problem with... I had a couple problems. That, first of all, I knew I wanted to do this anyway, and I wanted to recreate Magic Wars from scratch, because it would have to be recreated from scratch in something more efficient. Because right now, Magic Wars is a bucket plugin, which means it runs on a Minecraft server that's modified in order to, it's a modified Minecraft server, and it runs my code as a plugin and gets mixed in with the vanilla Minecraft server. The problem is the vanilla Minecraft server is very heavy. it uses like, we'll measure with RAM. It uses like 4 gigabytes of RAM on idle. I found I needed about 6 gigabytes to reliably run the Magic Wars server when you had 16 people in, which is the maximum per session. And if you look on Minecraft server hosting websites, that's not cheap. That's very not cheap. And I don't have a whole lot of disposable money. I'm going to I'm going to university next year, I hope. So that's going to be expensive. I don't really have a job. I need I cannot afford, basically what I'm saying. I don't have extra money to spend on hosting this Minecraft server when it'd be costing me 30-40 bucks a month and people might not even be playing on it. And that's kind of where I've been for the last 3 years. I really want to make this Minecraft server and I want to host it, but I'm not a good enough business person to be able to fund it through like donations and stuff. I definitely could not keep that up. And I don't have the money to fund it myself. So that's a bit of a pickle, and that's where we've been, where just nothing has happened. But I don't want that to happen, because a lot of you guys really liked Magic Wars. I really liked Magic Wars. I want you guys to be able to play Magic Wars outside of just when I'm hosting it on my streams. And so that's how we got to where we are today. Like I said, I wanted to code it from scratch in something a little more lightweight, so that's what we're working on today. I already started on that a little bit ago, but we're gonna continue. And additionally, I want it. Right now, the current Magic Wars plugin requires so much stuff. I hard-coded everything. It needs a lobby server, it needs a MySQL database, and it needs all of the addresses for both of those things to line up exactly with the addresses that I was using, which is no problem when it's for me, because I can just change the address in code and just rebuild the plugin, and it's like no big deal if I were to change my like hosting setup. But that is a problem if I'm ever going to distribute this to anyone else, because it is next to impossible for anyone to recreate exactly what I have. And to set up everything exactly the way that I have it. And so I want this to be something that you guys, when I'm done with this, I want you guys to be able to just download it and run it. And, yep, just download it and run it. And then be able to have your friends, and you can have your own little Magic Wars lobby that you host yourself. Other people can join it, your friends can join it. Heck, you could host it yourself as part of your server and make money off it. I don't really care, and I'm gonna make it open source. If there's any point in the future when I want to host Magic Wars myself and try to make a profit off of it, or like make a Minecraft server off of it and run it myself, I might pull the code, or I probably won't pull it, but I might start adding spells and stuff in like a fork of it that would be closed source, just so that I can have my own copy and like run my own and have my own draw. But honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I probably won't do that, honestly. I haven't done that for the past 3 years. I don't really see myself doing it. And so, that's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing this. But I do still want to make it more lightweight. Yeah, I'm not going to open source the original plugin, though. Because it's not really of use to anyone. Well, I could. I don't know. It's not really of use to anyone, though, because it, whoa. Because like I said, it's so tightly knit with my... It's so tightly knit in with my stuff that no one would be able to run it anyway. Like, you put it in a server, it's just going to crash. Because, like, if I recall... Let me check, actually, because I have my original code open here. Hold on. Resources. Yeah, I have hard-coded in here the IP address to my server and a database name, and it has to be pre-set up the way that I had it. And yeah, in other words, it's a disaster. It's a huge disaster, and I don't want to subject anyone to trying to run this themselves. But I do have the code for it still, which is good, because I was worried for a bit that I didn't. But anyway, how will I make it more lightweight? So there's this project that I found when in my pursuit of making it more lightweight, because I figure the heavy bit is not my plugin. The heavy bit is that I'm running a whole Minecraft server, a world gen, world loading, multiple dimensions when I only use one. So all of the overhead of a vanilla Minecraft server, I'm running all of that. And then I'm just kind of stripping away certain functionality. Like, you can never get to any other dimensions. except for the time you guys did in the playtest, but that wasn't supposed to happen. I removed food, I removed mob spawning, I removed daylight cycle, or I don't remember if I did. I might not have removed daylight cycle, but I removed mob spawning. I removed like every vanilla Minecraft feature. No world gen, because it's just loaded up worlds, but then I had to figure out how to stop it from saving the worlds. Anyway. And I thought this is unnecessary. This is unnecessarily complicated. What would be better is if, instead of starting from a Minecraft server and removing features, and then adding a little bit of my own to get to where I am right now in the middle, what if I just started from nothing, and then added my features? Then I don't have to remove all the vanilla stuff. I can just add my features. And this is at its own set of challenges, of course. I'm not doing it from scratch. The library is called ModMonster, and it is a very lightweight Minecraft server building library. It uses no Mojang code. It's like completely its own thing. And yeah, you can use it. and do, it's kind of for what I'm doing. Instead of the 6 gigabytes of RAM that I was talking about before, it used about 300 megabytes, which is much better, and it seems to be much more efficient so far. Because when you load into it, you get nothing. There is no world, there are no blocks, it is a void. You can connect to it, but it is a void. So I'd like to show you guys where I'm at this point, because we've come a little bit from void, and I'm going to delete that server because that has personal information on it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm at. As I was saying, what the heck is happening? Okay. Will you use Paper MC? Yeah, I was using Paper MC before. It was the problem. I have to be gone. Ah, well. See you later, Bum Show. It was good to have you for a little bit. We'll all use Mod's computer as a server? Oh, no. Are we playing it today, or are we just watching you code it? There's nowhere. It is not ready for playing. Today's a coding stream. If I work as hard as I've been on it for the past... For the next couple weeks, I think I could have this done in 2 or 3 weeks. However, I will not continue to work on this probably nearly as fast, so it might be a little bit longer. But we will do a playtest, because there's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be way more glitches. There's stuff like for example, my zombie minions. I've had to re-implement Minecraft zombie AI from scratch. There's no zombie AI. They're zombies, but they don't do anything. They just sit there like... And so I had to re-implement zombie AI. And I don't think I did a very good job. They act very weird, but it works. And I don't particularly mind if it's a little bit different. You could backport it to a Minecraft version that runs really fast. That's true. I thought about that as well, because I know Hypixel runs 1.8. However, couple issues with that. Firstly, I am using items that don't exist in that version. Like, I use an Echo Shard, I think, for one of my spells. So I'm doing that. Second of all, it's actually kind of difficult to do that, because a lot of documentation just doesn't exist anymore for back then. Like, documentation has been updated to the most recent Minecraft version, and so it's very difficult to find out how to do anything, which might not be that much of an issue, because Mindstorm has zero documentation that's accurate. There's a wiki, it's not accurate. Nothing lines up. It doesn't work. You copy a code sample, it just will not compile anymore. So it's not much better. And then the third and biggest issue is security, because like Minecraft 1.8 is 12 years old, 11 years old. I don't know. It's very old. And there's security issues up the wazoo. Like, if you're trying to run that, you have to then at that point, like Hypixel, what they've done, as far as I know, is they've patched all of the security problems themselves. I am not cut out for that. I am not cut out for that. And so, that's another reason. So I decided, YOLO. We're just gonna do it from scratch-ish, and this will still run better than an old Minecraft version. So we have that. But no, modern MC is awful. Hey, Cactus. Welcome to the stream. Guess what? Don't say chicken butt. And Rachel. Hello. Hello, everybody. Yeah, so I think we're gonna get in, I was gonna show you guys what I have so far. Then I'm gonna get into coding. So, currently, this is what we have here. Chicken butt. Shut up! This is my custom server. So, it's, so this is, I figured out how to load the same world that I had before. So this is the Magic Wars map. I'm going to change the world format into the same format that Hypixel uses. So this won't be staying like this. But this is how it is for now. This is just temporary while I test things. This is like my testing world. You know, block breaking and stuff doesn't work.
1.7. There is a community to help you. There is a 1.7 mod that ports new Minecraft features from new make called at Future.
Oh.
1.7 community has also patched all security issues and bugs.
Well, that's interesting then. That's an interesting idea. Like I said, I'm still gonna be working with this. That could be something to look at for the future. I don't know. I would have to probably benchmark performance with the older version too. And then like the attacking and stuff, like would the PvP be the same? Maybe that's part of what that mod does. I don't know. But anyway, this is the latest version of Minecraft. Like stuff like chests don't even work. I haven't implemented them yet. I did make doors work, which is cool because doors didn't work when I started. But I figured, you know, doors do need to work. Anyway, so these are the spells that I've implemented so far. So I have the Spear of Light, which is this one I was able to 100% faithfully recreate because the code, pretty much all the code was custom. It's just spawning particles. So that one's 100% perfectly recreated. Same with the Pixie Dust. The Storm Strike is 100%, and the Blast Jump is also. So all of these, the Pixie Dust that makes you fly. Whoops. The Storm Strike, I actually added a little bit of fire because I thought that was way cooler. That wasn't in the original, but I thought it'd be really cool if there was fire. So I did that. And then the Blast Jump also, that launches you around. And these all have cooldowns, just they only work in survival. See? One bug that I want to address is that it doesn't seem like the Blast Jump works when you click on blocks. It only works on air, which is interesting. I don't believe other items have that problem. Like Pixie Dust. Yeah, Pixie Dust works on blocks. I think it's because of the fireworks using animation. And it's somehow blocking out that. I don't know if we're gonna look at that today. I think we're gonna try and implement new things today and not really look at that. But anyway, what else do we have? Yeah, we have all the minion sets, which are the least accurately recreated because Mob AI is freaking hard, man. And then fireballs. The zombies act a little weird. They're not gonna attack me because obviously I programmed them not to attack me. But they act a little weird. But hey, man, I did this all from scratch, and they do work. So, the skeletons, they have their bows. But anyway, yeah, I will be working. I will be trying to improve those as much as I can, but they're good enough for me. I'm not like that. I'm not that fussed either on 100% perfectly mimicking vanilla behavior. It's a mini game. Who gives a crap? Anyway, and then the fireball. The fireball, I made it blow up blocks because I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this because I've realized that it's possible to get stuck. Like if I did this and fell down here, you can't break blocks. So I would just be stuck. And I don't want you to be able to break blocks because then you could like dig into the middle of a tunnel. You could like dig into the middle of here and just hide. And that kind of goes against the purpose of my game. So I don't know if anyone has any suggestions on what to do with that because I don't want you to be able to get stuck, obviously. Like if you had nothing in your inventory, you're just stuck in here. But I also love being able to blow stuff up because that seems really, really fun. Anyway, I could possibly backport it. You know what? You know what? I might open source the original then, and just I'll get rid of all my server IPs, obviously, but then just you guys can do whatever you want with it. Like if you want to fix it so that it works normally, then yeah, be my guest. Yeah, so anyway, those are all the spells that I've implemented so far. Obviously, if you guys remember, there's a lot more. Plus, I haven't done any of the enchantments yet, and I haven't, like, chests don't work. There's no actual game flow, so, like, when you die, you just die. There's no /kill, obviously, because I wrote all these commands. Like, I wrote /game mode. /give is just spells now, it's not even items. Yeah, the world border shrinking, none of that works yet, because I have to write all that. But what I've been doing is I've been trying to port all of... That was very weird. I've been trying to port all of the spells, is like my first main task. And so that's what we're going to continue cracking on with today. Yeah, I will look at... This is the original code here. This is the original stuff in all of its glory. I might look at publishing this. You borked the database. Yeah, it's literally just going to throw this error right away unless you have a database set up. Oh, it does kind of set it up for you, though. Anyway, I don't care. Let's continue. So, spells. This and this over here, this is my new code. This is stuff that I have to do. Zombies do cause a memory leak. Don't worry about that. We'll get there. Yeah, also the code is awful. It is not decent to read. It is literally awful. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I especially didn't know what I was doing 3 years ago. It works, and that's what counts. But let's look at this raycast algorithm. I recall there being something atrocious in here. I don't really know. I didn't comment anything. I didn't document anything. I set entity data like a million times. Anyway. Yeah, looking through this code is fun. This doesn't even, like, work. No, this literally doesn't even... Oh, this is protocol lib. Okay, never mind, never mind, never mind. Okay, so. Why is my chat not coming up? My chat should be coming up. Well, that's annoying. I missed you guys. Where are you? Horizontal chat. Refresh? Question mark, exclamation point? Oh, there we go. Okay. Feels as though if I go here, yeah, this will be a little bit better. Horizontal chat, come back. Okay. So, next thing that we have to port. I've been going in order of the way that I've had them. So it was under item, spell manager. So this is like the order that I created them and the order that they show up. So we have up to fireball. The apple should be fairly easy to do, but you guys are gonna get a little bit of a sense of my code base with this. I'm just gonna, what I like to do when I start is I'm just gonna copy and paste over the raw file, and then we're just gonna adjust things as we go. I don't fully remember what all these do.
To address block breaking and hiding, you can only mine a few blocks every 20 seconds. If you are dark and stay in the same general place, you'll be glowed to prevent digging in.
That is literally genius. So I could detect probably if you're in an enclosed space. And if so, then you set glowing. And you can only mine a couple blocks every 20 seconds. That's really smart. I'm gonna put this in the form of a to-do comment in my main source right here. This is how we're gonna do this. Beautiful. Anyway, so this is the Apple of Regeneration. This one, I believe, well, what does it say? What does it do? Heals 4 hearts. Well, that's a sad ability. Okay, well, that'll be very easy to implement. So we import spell, we need material. And I changed my own stuff a little bit too. Like, get stackable is now stack size, next stack size. This is glowing, which is true. And then this is our list of abilities here, which is the same. But I removed linked cooldowns, and I removed this. Argument. That should be good. And now our quick ability. So this here triggers when the ability should trigger, which is what we were having issues with the last jump. This is saying it will trigger on right click, and then both of these are now any. I think that makes more sense. So now you can click block type is whether or not you're clicking on a block, and then shift type is whether or not you're sneaking, because some things will work on a shift click. What else do we have? No player interactive event, the player instance event. Then everything else should be relatively the same. Or an attribute. And this is what happens when your health is already full. This is a bit lazy of me. Why am I doing this? It should be component text. So we're gonna say your health is already full, and then we're gonna use red. And C is red, I think. Yes. Okay. This is sending a red message in chat. This is your health is already full. Particles are a little bit different. Sounds are also a little bit different. We add their health. And player.set health. Oh, this should be a floats. Change it to floats. And then we have to do particles, and we have to play a sound. And this is... Does map not use... It does use doubles. Player.set health have to be float? Yeah, it does. Okay. Why'd you also disable mob AI? I don't understand why you need to overwrite with your own custom AI. This is, like I said, this is Mindstorm. There is no mob AI. Can I zoom this in so you guys can see it better? I don't know how to do that. There is no mob AI. I did not disable mob AI. There's just none. Because this is entirely written from scratch. I had to code my own. It doesn't exist. How do I zoom in? I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up on my own, my new thing here. Zoom in IntelliJ so that you guys can maybe read it better. Alt Shift. Okay. Very good. This should be a little bit more legible for people. Okay, so we're gonna player.send packet. This is how you do particles in Mindstorm. So we have to form a particle packet manually. So if we do particles.art, what is art? Particle.art. Send our packet. And this is at, I don't remember how to use it. The position, the offset. Okay, so get position. We want to be at the eye position, so we'll add 0. We'll add the player's eye height, and then we're gonna say what else is left? The offset. 1 1 1. Was that 10 1? Let me check here what we do in what the original code is. This spawns 10 particles at 111. Max speed. I don't know what that is. I think that's the speed at which they move, but oh, and this is the world, so this should be the instant, and then we send a group packet. This sends to everyone, not just the player. And now we have to play the sound. This sound only plays to the player that they ate, but I think that it should play to everyone also. So we'll once again get instance dot play sound, sound. This is going to be the sound event dot generic eat. We need the source, which is going to be player, that if people turn down volumes, it'll work properly, and then yeah, volume and pitch. 1 and 1. And then we have to play this at player.getLocation. That plays the eating sound. Okay. And instead of event.getInstance twice, I'm just going to set that variable up here. And then we'll reference for that, and we'll reference instance down here. And that should be the apple done. I have to register it, but that should be the apple done. Apple of regeneration. That should be the apple done. Why is the fireball new? Can I not commit the fireball? Oh, no, I just changed it. I'm an idiot. Mod professional developer, 10x. Mod doesn't really... Mod doesn't really know what Mod is doing. Mod is not very good at this. Mod is just doing stuff and seeing what sticks. I hope you guys can follow along, but I would imagine it's very difficult given that you guys have zero knowledge of my code base. Let's see. There's our apple of regeneration. It has the little food things at the bottom because it's my, I'd say unbreakable. That's wild. Unbreakable. I would like it to not say that. Because that's, I think, from my mod that shows how much food everything gives. I would like it to not say unbreakable. And I think the reason for that is because I have stuff set to unbreakable. Yeah, I gave everything the unbreakable component because I had to do that in the other one so that when I had like the backstabber, like the golden sword, that said it wouldn't break. But if I'm being honest, I don't think that swords break in Mindstomp because I never programmed swords to break. Do swords break? How do I test if swords break? I have to get a minion. Okay, swords do break. But I think there's better ways to handle that than adding unbreakable to everything. Because I think in vanilla, it will stop random stuff like apples from saying unbreakable.
When you go eat the apple, it just shatters your teeth like you're chowing down on a nice chunk of concrete.
Unlucky, 1 in 10 chance it just shatters your teeth. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of this unbreakable data component. But it doesn't say unbreakable on everything. I think that's superbly stupid. Please. S'il vous plaît. Por favor. What the freak is going on? I think there's an event for when something loses durability. Let's check, because I was just gonna say that's what I was thinking. We could cancel it. Or item use. There's player finish item use. I'll worry about that when we get there, because we're not at the backstabber yet. What I could also do is I could inside of my... Well, I couldn't do it in here. I don't have code that executes when spell gets... But I could add just a special condition, or I could add another one of these here, like is glowing, to just say there's the apple. Now they don't all say unbreakable. Just oh, it goes to eat it. I don't like that. We're gonna have to fix that. What was I gonna say? We could add the unbreakable tag just to that item, is what I'm saying. So it would do that. But to be honest, I don't think that there would be support for the unbreakable tag either by default. So I might have to code that in anyway. If that event doesn't exist, I think you can do the attack event and just simply negate the damage loss by saying, yeah, that's true. That's true. I could just say every time you use it, just set the durability back to full. I can totally do that. I just realized this shouldn't be a problem because you always have full hunger. Well, it still is a problem. Why does it still go to eat it? I swear that's not a thing in normal Minecraft. Like yeah, this is the one I did the blindfolding run on. If I try to eat an apple in survival, it's not gonna work, right? No, it doesn't. So it must be the server that's saying whether or not you can eat. That's very interesting. So I need to make sure that it doesn't actually try to trigger the eating animation. Another issue that I have currently is that if I... Let me just... Ah, crap. If I go up high, and I take damage, since I have these 3 saturation points, I always regain my health super fast. Which is not exactly fun. And so I'm gonna have to remove... I'm gonna remove those 3 saturation points, which should make me restore health slower. Let me test this thing. Works. Okay. But I have to make sure that it doesn't try to eat it. And I think I know just how to do that. I think that is going to be the player begin use item event. That's under event. I don't know why I have entity for. Let's do a new Java class. It's going to be on begin use item. This implements the event listener. And this is of type player begin item use event. Not null this, and then implement those. Okay. Return player begin use item event.class. Okay. We just return success every time because I have no idea how to use the result system, and I don't particularly care. I'm gonna say if what we're gonna do is we're gonna detect if item being used is a spell. So Boolean is spell is I believe I have spell manager dot is spell, and we can get the item stack. If it is cancel event. If is spell event dot set cancel true. That should just mean now we can still eat regular food even though that doesn't exist. But if it's a spell, then we just don't do anything, which is what I want. I don't know why it's taking... It would load in like 3 seconds at home. I don't know why it's taking longer here. Set the saturation to 0 permanently for the player to join. Yeah, that's what I tried to do. I actually do appreciate having you here to like walk me through stuff. It is very helpful. I tried to do it here, just setting the food saturation to 0, and it caused a an error right away because it didn't like me doing that while I was setting up the player. But there might be like a player join event. Player join? No. Player yeah, or we could do it so this would be a little hacky, but after the... Maybe there's a player... Yeah, I don't know. But that's why I was kind of putting it off. But once... We'll maybe look at that today too. We could make it just wait 1 tick and then do it. And then I already have on player exhaust. This is what happens when you lose hunger. I just cancel it so you don't lose any hunger. Player connection, was that there and I'm stupid? It's not an event, this is just the player's connection. Yeah, not the event. This is where you set up the player. Calls when a player enters the configuration state, either on first connection or when they're set back later. They're moved to the play state. So maybe we could check like play state. Player 8? No. Let's just look at player event. Player instance event? Might be? Oh, no, that's just the generic one. Player loaded event? Player spawn event. Player loaded event and player spawn event both seem like pretty good. Player stab event. What is that? When a player attempts to stab attack on an item with a piercing weapon. I don't know what the piercing weapon is. Are those like the new spears? I don't know. I haven't played around with those. So it's probably player spawn event? Is that when you respawn too? Called when a new instance is set for a player. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's actually just do that right now. I don't even remember what I was testing. Oh yeah, blocking this. Okay, let's actually do that first. I just want to make sure that... Oh, it is literally straight up not working. Interesting. That's because we didn't add the listener. On begin use item. But while we're here, I'm gonna do that other thing too. We're gonna add listener new on player, what was it called? On player spawn. And we're just going to not Kotlin. Don't use Kotlin. Do that here. On player spawn. Implements event listener. We're doing this again. Player spawn event. Why is it being eaten in the first place? I have no idea. You would think it wouldn't because you'd think it wouldn't because I have full hunger, but I suppose I was not aware that eating was done on the server side, but it looks like it is, and it looks like the server is just saying if it's food, just go ahead and eat it, which okay, if you say so. I don't particularly think that that makes a lot of sense, but it is what the people that made Mindstorm decided to do, and so we have to fix it. So I'm just gonna say get player.set food saturation to 0. That should work. Hey Storm Chaser, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. What I was doing before is I was just checking for when on this exhaust event, which is what it triggers when your hunger or your saturation is supposed to go down, and I was just setting the saturation to 0 and the hunger to full. That's what I was doing before. However, that's not an appropriate, like, oh, Rob song. Yeah, I missed it. Rob song. That's not an appropriate thing to do because it worked. It worked visually fine. Because as soon as you start regenerating, you lose your saturation. But the problem was my mod that I have that shows your oh, there, I don't have it anymore. Nice, it worked. The mod that I have that shows your saturation on your hunger bar, it's called Apple Skin, and that mod was that mod showed it go down, and I didn't like that. So I know it's a mod, but now the hunger bar is doing a little wiggly thing, but I don't particularly mind that. And then what was I testing? This? Ah, nice, nice. Okay, so now it's properly getting canceled. Now you can't eat with it anymore. And right clicking on the chest isn't working, but I don't particularly mind either, because I don't particularly mind that that isn't working, because it's gonna open the chest anyway. Very good, very good. Okay, let's go up in the air again and try and take damage and see if it'll heal me. And it should heal me 4 hearts, right? Heal 4 hearts. Very good. Okay. Looks good to me. And now you heal very slowly. You do heal, but you heal very slowly, which is how it was in the original. And I think this is a really good healing speed, because otherwise you heal way too fast and it's like sad and stuff. Okay, cool. We did that. We got a new spell and we fixed this. What is this? So I don't know. I made a video, this video 3 years ago about it, where I was making a Minecraft server. I made my own minigame. Pretty fun. I remember this shirt. This was a good shirt. I don't have that shirt anymore. And so I'm recreating this kind of because it was too heavy. Anyway, go back to the start of the stream. I explained kind of everything. Is it possible for the player to be null? Well, for the player exhaust event, or for on player spawn, it wouldn't be, because this will always have a specific player. Figured. Also, I'm not advanced enough to do null checks, people. I am the definition of, like, YOLO, screw it, we ball. Like, look at my commit message. Fireball is in and it's good enough. I'm gonna call this Apple of Regeneration plus plus healing slower. Warnings, we probably ignore these. Yeah, sure, not null. Whatever. Good for you. Bye. I'm using Git for some reason. Are the old maps still going to be there? But like I said, this is going to be something that you guys can download and run yourself. I'm going to include my map that I made, and I'm going to include the community map in, I'm going to include those in the download. There'll be like built-in maps that you guys can, it'll just like work with those automatically. But also I'm going to try and make it possible for you guys to build your own maps and play with your own maps, because I think that'd be really fun. But anyway, the community map will definitely be there. Will definitely be there. Just got off the phone with a family member who's a PC nerd because something's messed up with Linux. Wag. Hey Alex, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We're doing coding today. It probably will be of very little interest to you, but I don't know. I find it fun, so we're doing it. And I decide what goes because this is my stream. Yeah. Okay, well, we finished the apple. We have one spell in. Let's do the next spell. The shockwave. Oh, that's gonna be fun. So that is the sonic shockwave. That's the one that like whooshes out, like when it goes and it like launches everything away. This one was really difficult for me to code the first time, but I can't really tell if this is gonna be easy or not for me to implement this time. I could see it being stupid easy, but I could also see it not. So let's just start. Let me register it. Might as well just register it right away, right? Shock wave, new shockwave. Spell. Yep, just import everything. Get stackable. This is not stackable. The stack size is 1. And it should be glowing. True. Import. No! Just stop it. Ah. Import everything. Gotta import in that specific order, otherwise it has a little hissy fit. Delete this argument. Oh, it's called the sonic shockwave. My bad. I wish there was a way to auto import all. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. This should be a position, not a location. Position. Place down dot shoot. There's our radius. When runnables are all different because it's not bucket anymore, but they're more or less the same. We instead we just get an atomic reference, new atomic reference. I don't actually remember how to do this. Task. Gotcha. Task. And then we do a new we do Minecraft server.scheduler.build task. And then we're going to leave that for now. Pop this all in. Did I have to say yeet entities? I love my variable naming. I'm so funny. Oh gosh. Okay. And then this runs every tick. Repeat. Tick. 1. Schedule it. Okay. I will be reading chat in a minute. I just want to finish this code. Okay, so we gotta play this down to this player. So, sound. Sound event dot note block base. This is the sound that plays when it goes like as it goes out. Source dot, let's do master. I don't know what, I think this is volume and then pitch. Yep, this would be volume and then pitch. Okay. And now we have a list of entity, which is, I think this is the entities that get launched. And I'm gonna keep yeet entities because that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Center.x, center.y, center.z. I don't even know what this calculation is, and I'm not even going to try. We're gonna have to spawn particle in a minute. Don't launch your own minions. That's a very good idea. If players in spectator mode, yeah, that's a good idea. See, this is why it's pretty cool, because I can just mostly copy my own code. This should be task. Like ref.cancel. Cancel. Excuse me. Ref.get.cancel. Oh my god! Dot cancel. What? Ref.get. Dot. Did I import the wrong task? Yes, I did. I was like, I guarantee you this is it. I saw the method! Why am I incompetent? Okay, very good, very good, very good, very good. This is a vector. This is the entity's position to a vector. And then we add the player's position as vec. And then we multiply it by -1. Dot width line. And then we'll multiply by 0.5. Actually, we can just this. And then we have to play sounds. So this is something that honestly I might consider I might consider making this a oh, this is gonna be different. I might consider making like helper functions for this. Man, I see chat going. Okay, they're talking about other things. I don't care. All right, I will read chat. I just want to have this little coding sprint, and then we'll read chat. Okay. So this will be the easiest one. So we're gonna get instance dot play sound. Yeah, I might want to just make an easier sound API because having to do this every time to port it is kind of annoying. Joker, cast spell. This is the sound that gets played when you get launched, by the way. Just so that everybody is well aware. What is it then? Sound first step master. 2 and 1. Okay. Get location. Okay. Now particles. I do dust somewhere else. Yeah. So I'm gonna copy this. Particle packet. Particle equals new particle packet. Yoink. Don't have to do it again. No. Color dot white. That'd just be, I think, FFFFFF, but I don't remember. Let's do color dot. Oh, gotta go into shockwave. Color dot the white. What is it? Yes, FFFFF. Okay, that's just a hex code. Very good. And then scale is 1. This is still scale, right? Size. Yep. Good. This is the offset. 0. Speed of 0. What is the count here? Count 0? Excuse me? I think that's supposed to be 1. Because 0 doesn't make any sense. Okay, then we Send, what the heck? What is wrong here? Oh, this is already that. Okay, get instant send group packet is the particle. Okay. That's the particle done. I don't know why I say spawn 0, so I'm gonna say spawn 1. And this is get nearby entities, which is gonna be a little bit different. What is this here? Yeah, this switch case actually makes a lot more sense. I'm gonna do that. This is error. Yep, 0.1f, obviously. Stupid. Okay, get nearby entities. What is this? You get a point and a range. Get nearby entities is location, half the size of the box along x-axis. So that's just range. We only get one of them. That should be fine. And that should be implemented too. But we're gonna have to check that in a minute. And now I am going to read some chat because I've been ignoring it the whole time. And then we're gonna test our spell. Holy crap. Okay. Up to the top we go. All right. I like coding. That's good. Do you like this coding? Because I bet you don't know what's going on, because I don't know what's going on. And I wrote it. Is it also a server for download? It's going to be once I'm done this. So, because originally I was going to host it myself, but now I've realized, just to summarize what I said at the start of the stream, now I realized I'm not good enough. I do not have the funds to do that. So I'm going to just let you guys download it and run it yourself. It's going to be open source. Anyway, hey Reggie. Using a runnable seems horrible for performance. So I use runnables for scheduling. They're, like for instance, for this runnable, for this one, it's when, for this one, it happens because when you trigger the spell, sort of discs of particles shoot out from you. So I need to spawn one disc every tick, so it looks like it's going out. And then I also need to check if any of the players get hit by those discs and then launch them away. So that's what I use a runnable for here. I use lots of runnables. It's mostly for animation stuff, and it makes stuff happen like that over time. Or sometimes it's hacks. Sometimes I use them for hacks. Like for instance, the blast jump sets your velocity 4 ticks in a row because when I said it once, it wasn't working right. So I said it 4 times in a row. No reason, just why not? Please don't, please don't crucify me. Yeah, falafel's pretty cool. It feels like it performance awfully if enough people actually try to kill the server. Well, you can only have 16 people in a game at once, so you're probably right though. You guys can try that when we do the playtest. You guys can try to kill the server and we'll see. What license will this be under? Probably MIT. I put most of my open source, pretty much all my open source stuff I put under MIT. It's either that or I close source it. Which is basically just do whatever the heck you want with it. Okay, Cookie Run Kingdom stuff. I do not play that game. Is that getting all the entities in a bounding box and adding velocity to them to make them get thrown? I think so. Yeah, so it gets the nearby entities from the spawn location. Oh, it does this a lot. This is any entity. This is terrible for performance, but oops. This does it for every single particle, so 64 times for each particle. And then it gets any entities that are near that particle and then launches them. That's crazy. That's horrible. Why am I doing that? That's disgusting. I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it. Okay. Lots of Cookie Run Kingdom. Does Mod know how to code in C++? Not really. I made a Tetris game on an Arduino. And that's about all the C++ I've ever done. That shockwave looks messy. It's messy, dude. I suck at coding. What have I told you? specialty when it comes to coding. I haven't really had that much. I haven't had like any formal education in coding. I've taught myself everything, and most of the time I am looking for something that works. And so I will throw together the most cobbled, super glued together piece of garbage possible in order to get something that works. And I do it with pride. I do it with pride. I do one day hope to learn how to make stuff that's not terrible, but you know, it works. It works, so. Still waiting for this nerd to read freaking chat. Well, I read that message, so I read it. You're welcome. You're welcome. My favorite license is BSD3. Okay, I'm sorry I'm not that familiar with every type of license, but you know. Anyway, oh yeah, see you later, Reggie. Toodaloo. Toodaloo. The only way to optimize this is maybe check if the outer particles collide instead of all of them. That's what I'm doing, because I'm that's what I'm doing, because I'm checking I gotta open up MS Paint. I gotta diagram this. So we're gonna go tick by tick. So this is the player, right? After the first tick, there's one ring of particles. After the second tick, there's a second ring of particles. And after the third tick, there's a third ring of particles. So I do have to check all of the new particles every time. But what the real good, efficient way to do this would be still loop through and spawn all the particles, but then check the distance from the player. Instead of checking the distance from each one of these particles and having to check like all of these points, just check this distance as a whole. And then if you're within whatever this distance is between the player and the particles, if you're within that distance, get launched. Would be the right way to do this. I really can't see this being that big of a deal though, so I'm gonna leave it in. Yep. Yep. Will it have server.properties? No. This is not, like I said, this has no Mojang code built in. It has nothing like that. So I'll probably have my own like little config file, but when you download it won't even come as like a Minecraft server jar. It will be like probably a regular jar file, and which you just run. Here's your mini printer. That's cool. It's like a mini photo printer, right? That's neat. I'm gonna test this shockwave thing, but in order to do that, I need a second player. But I'm not sure if my computer can handle a second player while also streaming. But we're gonna try it. Let's see if my other account will work. If my other account will not work, then I will have to create an offline account. Oh, it worked. Okay, beautiful. What the heck is it doing? Why is it taking 37 seconds to build? It must be because I'm streaming also, which is weird because I'm using like very little of my CPU, so I don't really know what it's doing. The server download. I'm not, dude, I'm actively coding the server. Thank you, Harios. Still don't know if I'm saying your name right. You've told me so many times, and I'm just incapable. I'm sorry. It'll get there when it gets there. I'll make a video on it once it gets there. 2 accounts. Okay, awesome. Browse. There's our sonic shockwave. Let's see if it works normally. Yep. There's the rings of particles I was talking about. Dude, this thing still looks sick. I still love this thing. And this should launch this person now. Oh. Not very much. Well, it works. It's just sad. Oh, and you can place it. Of course you can. Why couldn't you? And the other thing I want to test is, this is the biggest one because it's powerful, but if I make a weak one, it should be... Yeah, it's smaller. You can see that, it's a lot smaller. When you're done with the coding, will the server... No, it's not going to have server.properties. It's not... It still will not be a vanilla server once I'm done with it. What do you want a server.properties for, though? It's, if you want to configure stuff, I'll have stuff be configurable. You will be able to do things. But... Idiot doesn't know what I'm talking about. Forget it. So when someone says server.properties, what they mean by that is this file, server.properties, inside of their server jar. And when you open that file, it has certain settings to do with the server. Such as these. You know, important things that get changed by a lot of people, like the MOTD. And whether PvP is on, and whether you have online mode to verify players' accounts. And the server's port. My server does not have this, because it is not a vanilla Minecraft server. It is a server that I've written from scratch, which means that it does not have any of this. None of this is present in my server. Therefore, no. It will not have server.properties, and I can guarantee you that I know more about Minecraft spec and protocol than you do, so I would watch who you're calling an idiot. However, if you don't own Minecraft, you should buy it. That being said, the jars that I provide will be online mode. So they will, so right now, since I'm testing, I'm using offline mode. That's why I don't have my skins. So technically I could load up with any username right now. However, that is stored inside of, I'm not gonna make that a server.property. I'm gonna expect that you own Minecraft, but that's stored in here. So if I type off.online, this will be online mode, and off.offline is what I have right now. So if I do online, then I reload the server, then I'll have my skins, and I have two legit accounts, so it'll work fine. This is how it's gonna get distributed. However, the code is open source, so you fully have the option to pull the source code, change this to offline, and then build your own version, which runs in offline mode. So that's kind of your prerogative. Yeah, see, I have my skin now. Don't worry about this skin. This is actually my sister's account, which I just happen to have on my computer. Yeah, so this is how it will be distributed with online mode, but I'm using it offline now for testing. And this is a change that you can 100% make because all the code is available. What are you doing in the stream? I'm coding Magic Wars. Yeah. I'm coding Magic Wars from scratch in a different plugin library. Because the original one was too much of a good thing. Let's figure out what the heck is going on with the velocity here. So we're setting the velocity to launch direction, but I recall having the same problem with the last jump. Setting velocity is like a lot less on Mindstorm than it is on Bucket. Like this, we have times speed. So I'm just gonna copy whatever I multiplied it by here. I'm gonna copy that. So speed is 40 versus 2. So we multiplied by 20. I'm gonna multiply this by 20, which 0.5 times 20 is 10. And this should, in theory, make it launch the same amount that it did before. Makes you have to solve a hard math problem in 8 seconds to enable offline mode. That's freaking crazy. That's also really funny. Realistically, it'd be easier to just pull the code and just compile it yourself than solve the really hard math problem. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Oh, that's interesting. It's only calculating at the feet, I think. Yep, it's only calculating at the feet. Also, I still think this is less. And it's more up. Also, for the sake of funnies, I don't know if this is actually less, but I am gonna make the number bigger. Just for the sake of funnies. I'm gonna try 20. Although this might be quite a bit. It'd be actually cool if we multiplied this by the power. That'd be kind of cool. Do we have power? Do we have a number? Yes, we do. So we can do this plus 20 plus power dot. Can we do power dot number times 5? Do 15. So weak would be 20. Medium would be, let's do 10. The weak will be 15. Medium will be 20, and then powerful will be 25. So it should shoot players further away depending on how powerful it is too, which would be cool. Why would it be less? Seems like it doesn't fully implement the spec properly. Yeah, there's not 100% feature parity with vanilla. There's not 100% feature parity. I've definitely noticed that. And I've noticed it's close, but... it's close, but it's not 100%. That is maybe a little bit too high in the air. But fun. Yeah, I'm gonna cut down the vertical velocity, but now if I do a weak one, this should be noticeably less. Yeah, that's noticeably less. And then powerful is like, whee! Okay, let's, here's what I think we're gonna do. I think, what if we just multiply it, and then we set the Y? So we'll be multiplying this first, and then setting the Y to be 1.5. But I'm not fully sure if that's going to be correct, because we might need the Y to be higher than that. But I don't know. Import the ChatGPT API, then ask it to generate an impossible math question that looks possible. I don't like that idea. That's just bullying. Wish it didn't take 10 billion years to launch my server every time. Yeah, that's not enough Y. Whoa! That's why it has to launch up in the air, because otherwise you get hit by multiple. Oh, and we still have to prevent you from being able to place it. Obviously. And we have to make it so it hits your head too. Okay, we got a bit. We got a bit to do. Let's multiply this by, I don't know, 1.5 times 5. Sure, 7.5. I'm just kind of screwing around with numbers right now. I'm not entirely sure. Set it the same value. Set the same value you set it to on the vanilla server. Imagine they roll out an update that makes it like MC spec. Everything is all of a sudden 10 million. Everything's flying all of a sudden. That would be immensely funny. I would love to see them do that. And they do change this all the time. They change this API all of the time. It's the least stable thing I've ever seen. Okay, we need more. Yeah, that's because it's hitting it multiple times. We have to set the Y higher. Let's do 15. That would be what we had before times 10. But we said we need about times 20. So I'm going to say 30 was too much. So I'm going to say, let's say 20. We'll try 20. Immense, you say. Bro, it would be the avatar of your consequence. Hi, bestie. Please, Minecraft, please. Try 21. 21, really? One more higher? One higher? Okay, if 20 is good, if 20 is close enough, we'll do 21 for the memes.
Don't use magic numbers. Mod.
Stop calling me on my bad coding patterns. Okay, that's good. That's good. Stop calling me on my bad coding patterns. It makes me feel sad. Fine, you are right though. These are all magic numbers. I'm gonna set it to 21 because it's fun. So I should do something like final. I hate having someone that knows how to code in this chat. They call me on all my crap. It sucks. Final int y. I don't know. I'm gonna do them capital like this because it's supposed to be a constant. Y velocity or launch, or I don't know how to name stuff. Launch velocity y is 21. There. You happy? I don't know what to do about this, but yeah. Yeah. And then we have to make it wondering if we add, because this is hitting feet obviously. Yeah, because it's getting feet, but I want to get it not necessarily on the feet. I want it to still work. Man, I still have to figure out how to, I have to figure out how to make it not just touch the feet. How do I make it work on the whole thing? What is this null pointer exception? Oh no. Yeah, because I'm an idiot and I never hold on. How do I do it before? Yep. To actually that. So how do I do that? Because this is getting nearby entities to this part of, this is the particle location, but this only checks their feet, but I want it to check their whole body. I don't know. No idea. German seal song. It vibes hard, but I don't know what it says. Talking about exams. Nice. Yeah, physics is something. Yeah, I genuinely don't know how to solve this. I kind of do, except the problem is it sucks. Because we could do 3. We could do 1 at the particle's position, and then 1 a little bit above it, and then 1 a little bit above that. Problem is that sucks. It sucks bad. It sucks really, really, really bad. I hate that idea. If we check just the middle of the body, then if we hit the feet, it won't work. We don't want to bump up the range because this is 1 value, so it just makes the box bigger, and then... Darn it! And this obviously doesn't make any sense. Like, this should be launching. This, of course, is. And it's working very well. You get stuck a little bit, but that doesn't really matter. But this, even, I would say, should be launching. I think if you're this far above, it'd still be launching. I would feel a little bit better about myself doing 3 checks for each particle if we did it based on not the particle position, but regular old spheres, like I said. Because normally, yeah, darn it. Sorry, that's probably very loud. I'm just trying to, oh my god, it is very loud. I'm just trying to look at, like...
You get it, bro. You like, really lick toes.
Shut up, Nolan. Do some debug code to see how it's interacting with bounding box. It's not. It's just checking against the feet position. I know that. Because this works. And that's because instead of checking this particle's collision with the whole player bounding box, instead of checking with this box here, it's only checking at the feet position. Or like the actual position values of the player. It's only checking the player as this position right here, and not as the whole thing. Which is fine when it's like this, but it's not fine when you're up here, and this should still be working because it still visually looks like it's inside the player. Yeah, the problem is if we do spheres too, we can't just do rings. It would be like a big sphere around me, and I don't want someone that's... Like, if I was here, and they're like here, that's technically in the range, but I don't want you to get launched. I only want you to get launched if you touch this. Yeah. That's really interesting. Guys, I'm about to commit a war crime. I'm gonna do 3 of these checks. Please forgive me for this. Please forgive me for this. Okay, so list hit entities, or list, sorry, God, list entity hit entities. We're gonna loop, we're gonna loop for int y equals 0, y is less than equal to 2 plus. Then add all.
Ignore my next 2 TTS that comes in.
What? Spawn location. Yeah, this music is perfect. Totally ignore what I'm doing, guys. Totally ignore what I'm doing. We're so good right now. So good. Everything's awesome. There's a thing to get the eye pause, so you'd have the feet covered. Yeah, I wanted to check the feet too, though. I wanted to hit... if you hit the feet, it should work. And if... Why is my camera so laggy now? If you hit the feet, it should work. And if you hit the... And why do I look bald, bro? Bro, I'm not going bald. This is... It looks awful. Yeah, this is a gimmick. Because it should check the whole player bounding box, but that doesn't really work. That's simply not a thing. I could write it myself, but I don't wanna. Actually, that would be the best option, wouldn't it? That would be significantly the best option. Okay, so that works. That works. Oh. Now I'm 1 block above. Oh, it's still not working. Should it be, Yep, it should be minus Y. I'm checking literally completely the wrong place. Should I tactical nuke? What does it do? Oh my god, it's 1,200 points? Dude, I made inflation too high. That one's not that funny. It's kind of funny. It hurts a little bit. I'll be in immense pain. Yeah, there. It works now. Except it also double launched. It double launched. Darn it! I'm gonna have to do this the right way, aren't I? Now, why isn't this even working? I'm gonna have to do this the right way. Man, I hate having to do things the right way. This sucks. Yeah, because that is still clearly hitting the player's box. Okay, screw this. We're doing it. Why not just check from the iPause? Okay. Back to MS Paint. This is, we're gonna look at this from the side, right? This is a player. This is their bounding box. If this person over here is the shooter, this one is the one that's doing the shooting. And so the particles emanate out like this. If they're on the same level, this hits the feet. It works. This player gets launched. That's good. Drink water, idiot. I'm gonna make this guy shocked because he's the one getting flung. But now, if this player is above, one block above, this is still clearly hitting this player. And so this player should still be launched. But the game goes, oh, well, this is not, the player's down here. This is hitting up here. There is no player here. The player's down here. This is not even anywhere close to the player. So it doesn't launch them. And the same thing happens if we go up. So if we were checking against iPause instead of player position, this would not work. Because then the player's up here. And so this would go, oh, there's no player down here. The player's up here. And if we were to check, then it would only work if we were to be... Oops, I took part of him with me. Then this would only work if we were to be up here at the eyes. Then it would hit, and then the player would go flying. But we need to be checking at the whole box. We need to be checking whether it's in any of these ranges. The feet should cover the bottom and the eye is the top. Okay, but the problem is it's only, the range is only 0.5, and I don't really want to make the range much bigger. And if we're checking twice, we might as well, like, you know? It's ewy. It's very gross. So what I think we're gonna do, my new solution, is when we shoot. Why not shoot from the eyes? Oh, because I think it looks cool going against the floor. It's supposed to be a shockwave. I think it looks cool when it goes along the floor. And I don't want it to blind you either. It's supposed to be like a subtle, cool effect. I like it going across the floor. That's how it worked originally, and I like that. So what I think we're gonna do instead is, here's how we're gonna solve this. We're going to, for each one of these particles, check a big circle around it. Big circle around it. Get any players in it that we might hit. So this particle might hit this player. It doesn't, but it might. This particle might hit this player, and it actually does. Let me line this up a little bit better. So this one might hit this player, and it actually does. But we check a big area around. Then, once we have all the players in that area, we're gonna check if this bounding box is within this. I'm not to optimize code. Yeah, this does seem awful, doesn't it? I seriously don't know. I don't... Do you have a suggestion? Because this seems literally awful, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Man. Yeah, I also don't know any other way. I'm really sorry to say this, but I think we're just gonna have to, like, just look the other way for a little minute while I do this, because this might be a little bit painful for me and for everyone else to do. And this might hurt a little bit. but it has to be done. Has to be done. Okay. So, potential hits. Check the spawn location. We're gonna do int potential hit radius for
Storm Chaser WCE left the weird chat.
what? Okay. Where were we? Potential hits. So for every potential hit. If it's any of these, then we continue. Otherwise, check if the entity was actually hit. Can we do get bounding box dot intersect box? I want to intersect a point. You could do this the old-fashioned way, but I don't want to do that either. I would like to... Hold on, wait, what? Dude, this sucks too, 'cause... Oh. Okay, wait, so when we get the bounding box, this... Okay, now I'm just confused. How do I intersect a point? Let's debug this a little bit. I want to just print the bounding box. Does this go to string? Of course it doesn't. Okay, we're gonna get the min y, and we're gonna get the max y. Oh dear. Goodbye, Storm Chaser. Vox? That sounds a lot like Vox. It sure does. It sure does, bros. Man. Would reversing the logic and attaching the bounding box logic towards the player instead of the particle do anything? Well, I'm checking the player's bounding box. And I'm trying to check if the particle point collides with the player's bounding box, because that makes the most sense. But I need to... What it wants me to do is check if two bounding boxes collide, which... Jesus. Okay, so this is minus any actual positioning. It's just the size. It only holds the size. So min y is probably always 0. Okay, so in order to do this check, you have to check if so we need the particle's position. So this would be the spawn location. So if spawn location dot, let's do pause entity no, we can do this. If bounding box dot, no we don't want to do the, we can intersect an entity, but that's not, this is too complicated for me. Okay, I'm gonna try something. This might be crazy. But I think it has potential. This might have potential. I cannot explain entirely why I think this might work. I'll try to explain once I've done it, but we'll see. Nolan, who's your second favorite has-been character? Because obviously first is Vox. Nope, second is Vox. Wait, I'm shocked to hear that. Lucy's first? I'm surprised. He's fun. I like him, but... Also, this error is complaining about chains not existing. Because they renamed them to iron chains, and this was saved in 1.19. So I ignore it every time I start. Please work. Bad. That did not work. That did not work good at all. So they get hit by about 1.5 million different particles at once, which is why we go flying. Unknown block, Minecraft pulling grass. Very cool. I also love Al. Al is awesome. Okay. I don't know what to do. We're gonna do this from we're gonna do this how I know how to do it from scratch, kind of. Let's just store a reference to the bounding box. Bounding box entity box is gonna be the bounding box. So we're gonna check if entity box dot and then we'll also get the player's pause entity. We already determined that's not included in the bounding box. So now we're gonna say if the following things are true. If the entity box dot min x plus entity pause dot x is less than or equal to, so if the minimum x is less than or equal to the spawn location dot x, and the this is a lot of copying and pasting. We need 6 of these. Let's actually just do this for now. And the max x plus x is greater than the spawn location. Then we just do this for y, and we do this for z. All right. If this doesn't work, I don't know quite what I'm gonna do. But I'm a little bit confused right now. If this works, I will be quite happy. And then hopefully, I don't know what the next spell is that we have to do, but hopefully it's easier. What is the next spell that we have to do? Return. It's not easier. I have to code ender pearls, guys. Ender pearls don't exist in this either. So I'm gonna have to make ender pearls. Very cool. A. That's pretty good. I think we did it. That's not good. I don't know why that's not working. Oh, what? Why did that work that time? Working most of the time, it seems. And if I'm above the player... Why did it work when I got closer? Like, they're still obviously hitting. It might be too hypersensitive. Yeah, because look, the particle isn't exactly hitting, so it's not... We do need a range around each particle. But if we hit perfectly with one of the particles, then it works. Which means that my idea has merit! I mean, you can also still hit them twice. God. Why did this have to be so much significantly more complicated than bucket? Why isn't that working? And why did that launch them straight up? Like, why is that not working? It must be that we're just not perfectly hitting. Because if I move a little bit, yeah, then it works. So we're gonna test with that. If I move around, yeah, it does work at some point. If I move a lot and I keep hitting it, it will work eventually. Gonna take a quick break from this to I'm gonna take a quick break on this to do to stop players from being able to place blocks. Unblock place.
You sure using this was better than doing it for an old Forge version? Sodium quartz exists on that version. Some guy removed the id limit of it, by the way.
That's not relevant. Neither of those things are relevant because Sodium's a client mod, and Forge requires you to install mods in the client, and I want this to work on a vanilla client. So it'd have to be an old paper or spigot or bucket version. And I'm having fun, even if it doesn't seem like it. This is how I code. This actually might be on player use item. I'm just gonna append an event.set canceled onto this. See if that works. Yeah, no, because it couldn't be Forge. Forge would not be possible to use for my purposes. But I could port it to an old spigot version and it would likely fit my goal of efficiency, and I could probably figure out security, but I'm having fun. Leave me alone. I'm having fun. And it's not like I okay, no, that still places blocks. It's not like I didn't have to go through this the first time anyway. This just has different sets of quirks than bucket, but all of the troubles that I had to go through the first time, you just didn't see because I already did it. So this is, what is this? This is, well, item is used without clicking on a block. That's the exact opposite of what we want. We have on block break. We don't have player place block event. Player, let's go through here again. Use item on player block place event. That's what we want. Event listener. This process is mostly the same. Player place block event. I like my consistency. I gotta put the not nulls in the right spot. Prevent placing spell items. Get. Oh, interesting. We'd have to check the player's hand. So, player hand, get hand. item stack. Item is going to be player dot get item in hand, and then if it is spell item, then we set cancel to true. And once we register that, that should just stop us from placing things. Unblock place. Okay. You just need to install Forge and it works. I don't think you need the Forge mod to be in everyone's mod folder if you only use server code. Yeah. And then the problem is too, I would have to use VIA version in order to let the latest clients join, and I don't know how well that would mesh with that. You could use something like VIA proxy to, so that you don't have to have, like, that's what I have to use for this, because VIA version obviously isn't going to work on Mindstorm. Beautiful. Weird client bug there. But nothing I can do about that. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. Because when you click it, it's back. Yeah. Nothing you can do about that. Yeah, it's... if you use server code, you might not even need to install Forge. So that... you might be right. I don't fully know. But again, this is my little prison. I did this to myself. I do like coding, I promise. It's fun. Here, let's just try this a different way. Bounding box, we'll try making a particle box. And we're gonna do this. What is this? This is the last one. Width, height, and depth. I don't know if we tried this, but I don't know if we tried this already. Intersect box. I don't know what the position relative is for. So the minimum x of this plus the position relative is less than... this should be pos.0. Because this is... the entity box clearly uses not world coordinates. This is obviously not using world coordinates. I planned for mines to be... what does that mean? Do you mean you made a server? That is... I don't know. Everyone should use this class and crash mod server. Try to rewrite for performance, but writing this. Well, I'm not writing for performance. I'm writing to make this thing work. I was writing for performance. Yeah, now why is it launching every single time? Clearly it's not every single one. And it's roughly close because, like, it's working kinda right. It just seems to get hit by every single particle. Okay. Yeah, no, it's colliding with a whole bunch of them at the same time, but why is it doing that? Let me system.out.println. Function? Okay, because this, the way that this works is we have a width, depth, point, I don't know what. Offset.asvec. This width, height, depth. What is this one? Calling this. That one's calling. What constructor is this? Shape? What is this? Offset dot get. What? Okay, well, I'm printing the location, so maybe we can see. I would like to at least finish this before we end stream. Come on, I want a working shockwave. That would be our victory for today. We did the apple, obviously, but the apple was easy sauce. The apple was super easy sauce. This should not be that hard either. And we had it working by using the same logic. It was just only hitting the feet. And I'm such a picky person. Actually, to be fair, is it not entirely possible that we are actually hitting the player with all these particles? Like I said, it seems to be fairly accurate when the player... I'm gonna get a weak one, because that'll be easier. Seems to be fairly accurate when the player is getting hit. Like, if I look now at myself, like... Oh, wait, no, it's not that accurate. Yeah, no, it's triggering 4 blocks away. That's helpful. That's very helpful. Because this is... So this is just working all the time. Which of course it is! Which of course it is! Which of course it is! Because... Right now, I'm an idiot. Right now, what we have is we have no positioning happening. So we have, this is the player box, and this is the particle box, every single time. So every single time it's saying, yes, this collides. When really we need to position the particle relevant to the player. So, I do not know how to use these enough. So position relative. So this is the player's minimum X value. Plus... Oh, I think this is supposed to be the relative position of this particle inside of the player. Which would be easy enough to say if we just say entity pause minus on location. Maybe reversed. It might be sublocation minus entity pause. I don't actually have enough brain power right now to work that out. But if it doesn't work this way, we'll test it the other way. That's the beauty of life, is that you can just do that. Good lord. Good lord, please. Did I say hi to Calazard? I don't know, I think I did. If this works, this would be pretty peak, actually. You know, that seemed better. That seemed worse. I want to get a weak one again. Here, I'm going to just follow along, and I'm going to do this again. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's just not hitting. That might be it. Now, it's still double colliding, but that's obviously to be expected, so I can work with that. I don't even know how it possibly didn't the first time. Now, it is launching the player the complete wrong way. Why is that? Why that way? Oh, probably because, again, it's getting hit by multiple. This is such a task, bro. This is such a task. So we're adding them all up to this list. Then the thing is that they're getting added multiple times. So I want to say, and it doesn't contain already the player. It shouldn't take the player look vector. No, it has this launch direction, which is basically the difference between the entity's position and the player's position. Like the player that fired it. So it does not take the look vector. Although I was wondering that for a second too. I saw the same thing. This is significantly more annoying when it takes like a minute for it to load every time. I was able to click on, when I was at home, I don't know, again, I don't know why it's being so slow this time. When I was at home, I was able to click on play, tap to Minecraft, and click join, and it like was ready by the time I did that. So I don't know why it's taking so long. I see very little good reason for it to be, but there we go. There are no silly chat opportunities anymore, and I want to go read my silly web novel and watch the main character have their egg cracks. I'm gonna go. I will see you later. Yeah, this was a boring stream, kind of on purpose. This is my project that I'm working on, but there are not a lot of silly chat opportunities in ModMonster coding stream. So, yeah. Toodles. That's it, I think. I think that's it. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. That is the one. This is working. This is working completely. And the powerful one, of course, shoots you further. And if I'm a little bit up on the player, it still shoots. It still works. I'm a little bit down. If I'm too far up, it doesn't. But that honestly makes sense. If I spam it, which you're not able to do in-game. Ah! Man, what a coding adventure. That was certainly something. That was certainly something. Let me get back on the ground. Yeah. Oh god, now why did it launch? Why did it launch twice again? Bros. You might not be done yet, bros. I want to, real quick, just before we do something here, I just want to print. When are we launching the player? I would like to... Oh, we can still launch them multiple times. Oh, yeah, hold on. Hold on, wait. We are not quite done yet. We need one more. All yeet entities. So that they can never get thrown twice. Because right now, we are doing this list every single tick. Like every single ring. So they can get launched by ones in two different rings. They can't get launched by two in the same ring, but they can get launched by two different rings. So just before we do this, I'm going to do all yeet entities.add all entities. And I'm going to say this. And not all yeet entities dot contains entity. I'm so good at naming things. Now you can for sure only get launched once per thing. You absolutely cannot get launched twice. So explain the code. Bye-bye. Yeah, see you Wednesday. All right, talk to you sooner. Anyway. Explain the code. God, good luck. Okay, so I'm going to go through just this section really quick because everything else is unchanged. So, actually this section. So first we add anything that could be potentially hit by taking a big bubble around each particle. Once we've done that, we loop through everything that might be hit. We make sure that it's a player, we make sure that it's not a player's minion, and then we make sure that they're not in spectator mode. Then we check this is a bounding box around the particle, and this is the bounding box of the entity, and we just check if the particle with its little buffer radius around it is intersecting with the entity that we think is hit. Then we make sure that it hasn't already been hit by this ring, and then we make sure that it hasn't been hit by any other ring. And if so, we add it to the list of things that were hit by this ring. Then we just loop through it, and everything that was hit this ring we launch. And then we add everything that was hit this ring to the list of things that have been hit by any ring. Because that way, I still don't want you to get hit multiple times. Like, no matter what, you should not be getting hit multiple times. Pretty sure this is working. At least as well as it's going to. Maybe one more slight change I want to make is I do think that if you're 2 blocks above, like I think that, okay, that still hit, but I think that this should also still hit. Should it? I don't know. That's it, yeah. That is weird. Why are you bouncing? There's minor weirdness, but I will look into this more later. There's, this is so good enough. There was minor weirdness with the original too, to be honest. This seems much less minorly weird than the original. The original would kind of fling you in any direction. I am very satisfied with this. I'm very satisfied with this. Sonic, Shock, Wave, thank God. Real quick, check for warnings. Default branch is unnecessary. Cool, bye. Method may produce... This is definitely not null, though.
If it's 2 blocks above, make it hit like a weak one if strong. If weak, make it hit nothing.
Okay, the problem with that is that that would require more effort than I've already put into this, and I do not want to put more effort into this right now, but I'll add it to the list of things to do. But I do not want to ever look at this shockwave for the next 24 hours at least. If 2 blocks above Sonic, Shock, Wave, hit like the tier below, i.e. strong launches as much as weak does nothing. Because that's a good suggestion. And for this one, I can just make my code a little bit cleaner by just saying that the does this return a living entity? Nope, it's a player. Very good. Player minion owner is if we get the minion owner, and we just say if minion owner doesn't equal null, and that. This is effectively the same thing, but it likes it better. So, the win for me. Sonic Shockwave, thank God. Let's say 908 or 903. Oh, it's 908. We should probably go. Is there anything else that I could do really quickly? Probably not. This return pearl is going to be a disaster. My question is, do we have an Ender Pearl?
I'd honestly do a bounding box check for the player tick event. Checking the intersection of the particles and the average of the 8 particles, and then using that to launch the player.
So basically on every time you tick one of the rings, You would instead check the bounding box on the player and check if it's touching any of the particles. That's basically what I'm doing. That's effectively what I'm doing, except instead of doing it on every player tick, I'm only doing it when rings exist. That's basically the same thing. I'm curious, do Ender Pearls work? Shocked. Genuinely shocked. Something feels off with them, but I might be making that up. No, it even goes based on your velocity. No, I think these, yeah, these are pearls. So maybe a return pearl would not be impossible. I spent a lot of points. You're pretty good at this, though. And the idea thing, like coming up with ideas and stuff. I really should leave it. Let me look at the code for the return pearl, see if that's something we can implement really quick. Oh, it's dead simple. Oh, it's dead simple. But then when do we teleport back? The on projectile hit? Custom ender pearls. Yeah, this is a little bit more complicated. Do we even have some, like a projectile hit event? Projectile collide with block event. What happens in this if you hit... What happens in this if you hit a player with an Ender Pearl? How does the return pearl work? Well, it happens on... it happens in this projectile hit thing, too. I'll explain it, but I'm not going to code it today. So whenever you throw it, well, it says right here. It throws an Ender Pearl like regular, and then it teleports you back to where you threw it from after 5 seconds. So yeah, this throws a pearl, then it saves that you used a return pearl, plays the sound, and then this one checks when it hits. And this, oh, I have custom code for if you land outside of the world border. I'm gonna check what happens with that in here too, because we have to consider it landing outside of the world border. But then if it's a return pearl, it gets the person that shot it. It fixes the cooldown, and then starts this return player on a 100 tick delay, which is 5 seconds. Which teleports them to the origin of the pearl. So I assume that's where that's definitely where it got shot from. Yeah. Yeah, but what happens if we try to pearl outside of the border? Genuinely interested. I bet it works. Oh, the pearl hits the wall. Oh, that's really interesting. Actually, that's probably better behavior, to be honest, because if you throw it up there, it can still work. And they botched they botched it. Neat. They botched it. It lets you... Where am I? Lets you clip outside of the border. Because normally you can't do that. Nope. Wow. Okay. That time it didn't. But if you hit it just right, you can clip outside. Yeah, it's not that hard. No, it's not vanilla accurate. It's absolutely not. I know in vanilla, because I had that code for detecting if it goes... What the heck? Missing a whole chunk? Doesn't really matter. I'm going to be redoing this world anyway, but like... Holy moly, why am I... Send help. How do I get out this time? Please. Whoa. That's weird. Weird, dude. I don't know why it's doing that. At least the map is intact, so I don't really care. I can regenerate that chunk. Can I go out in spectator? Yeah, I still can. I'm gonna say that's how it works in normal. Teleporting in spectator isn't working either. So I'll have to fix that. Yeah, no, this is it's something. It's something. Would be interesting to look at doing this in something more well known. And this, I could technically do the same thing. Like, enough people know how to set up. It's not necessarily that much easier to do this, because with this, people can just download the server executable and like can just download the server executable and run it, and they don't have to really do anything else. But with Minecraft, you'd have to, you know, download and set up Spigot and then all that. It's not that much easier than just doing an older version, but this is fun, and we're gonna make it predictable. We're gonna make it work. Cool thing about this is that I've learned loads about packets. Like, for example, the skeletons. I knew almost nothing about this before, because, like, obviously I didn't. But the skeletons, they, this drawing back their bow thing is, the drawing back their bow is not something that happens normally. Well, nothing is what happens normally, but the drawing back their bow, I had to, in order to do that, drawing, I had to send this metadata packet, which, yeah, I had to basically manually create packets and then make it so when they shoot, it gets cleared, etc., etc. Which taught me quite a bit. So I'm learning a lot about Minecraft by doing this, and since it's still working with vanilla clients, it uses the same packets and everything, so it's not like this is useless knowledge. But yeah, cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna keep working away on this, and then, like I said, once I'm done working with this, and once I've got why doth thou behave in the way that you do? Once I have this done the way that I'd like to have it done, that did literally nothing. Once I've done it the way that I'd like to have it done, I'll release it, and then you guys can play it. And I don't know, that is variable on me not deciding I actually want to scrap this whole thing and just going back to paper, because that could very reasonably happen. Because you're right, paper is stable, paper is nice, paper is predictable. But this is kind of fun in its own way.
What's that Acer laptop?
My grandparents' laptop. My laptop is, I don't know. I was gonna say not that fancy, but this is not a fancy laptop either. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's about time to end for today. I almost wonder if I should just publish what I have so far on GitHub, because I have it on GitHub right now, but it's private. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so this is a work in progress. I probably won't stream development again, because like I said, this is something I don't do very often because not a lot of people care. But I will talk about it when I release it. I will probably make a short little video on it anyway. Publish the legacy one, yeah, that's a good idea. I might honestly just have it on GitHub already, but private also. Don't remember. No I don't. No, I don't. And usually these are the streams I do on Wednesday, but I can't really do those when I don't have internet at home. So I have to prioritize. Do I even use Git in the original? Yes, I do. I was like in the middle of working on something too. Yikes. And this is for an old paper version and everything. Yeah, I stream on Wednesday sometimes. Rarely. Sometimes. Rarely. Yeah, I'm just hesitant to do it because it won't work. This might be a project for next tomorrow. Cleaning up this code a little bit. Updating it to latest paper. And then pushing it out to you guys. Which honestly might just solve the problem. I might be doing this just for me. I don't know, man. Anyway. Yeah, that's what I mean on the legacy one. Yeah, don't forget, I'm with you in the dark. Hey, user Ryan, see, copying your message 3 times will not make me see it any better. But no, I don't have a sitting procedure anywhere. If I look up mcreator sitting, I assume you mean making the player sit down. Which is something that you can do. Let me that would be something I think you would need code for. You would probably have to but it should be a pretty simple thing. I don't know. Yeah, look up like how you do that in Forge, and then Forge mobs. Yeah, because there's a way you set player animations and stuff. I'm not, dude, I haven't used mcreator in years, so yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I think that...
Unrelated question. Why are you Kidna inactive on Discord server lol?
I don't currently have access to my main Discord account. So that would do it. Also, not a lot goes on in there. Yeah, so... Generally doesn't happen much. Hold on, I kind of want to solve this problem for you, even though I like literally never do this ever. I'm always very much a figure it out on your own sort of person, because with enough Googling you can generally figure out anything. But I kind of want to figure this out. You're talking about Nolan and Mod being shipped on there? There's so much going on there. Yeah, I wasn't, I was not there for that. Not there for that. Yeah, I don't even have like a place to tell you to start. I don't even, I'm kind of sorry. I don't even really have a place to tell you to start at. I do kind of have to end stream about now. Had so much fun. Well, I'm glad you did. Glad you did. Can I show you what mod I'm making? It's gonna be a project I'll be working on for like a month. Well, like I said, I have to end stream about now, but I want to figure this out, but I'm not sure if I'm going to figure this out. I'd like to figure this out. Yeah, genuinely no idea. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I gotta go. I have to pack up everything and get home in the next 4 minutes. I have to pack up. So yeah, I think we're talking about sitting though, not sneaking. So a bit harder. Anyway, yeah, like I said, gotta go, gotta run. I'll see you guys later. See you guys next week, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. As always, you know the drill. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I'll see you later.